So welcome back. So last class we have discussed the epithelium, types of epithelium, simple and compound epithelium, types of simple epithelium discussed. Finally that so columnar we discussed yesterday. So columnar epithelium, but structure, so distribution and function. So today, so this session particularly we are going to so discuss the other types, the ciliated. The ciliated type. So what is ciliated? It's nothing but it is the columnar. It is basically it is a columnar. Basically it's a columnar cells. So in the columnar the cilia, it possesses cilia on the apex. So listen, this is okay, actually this is the that ciliated cells. Ciliated is not the special type, it's a columnar only. Basically it's a columnar. So columnar cells, that columnar cells possess the cilia in its apex. So it's called ciliated epithelium, ciliated type. Cilia, because of the presence of the cilia on the apex, it is called ciliated epithelium. It comes under the columnar type. So where it is located, where this ciliated type of columnar epithelial located, it is the branchioles, small branchioles, fallopian tube and uterus. So in these places, these ciliated type of the columnar epithelium is located. So what is the function? So what is the function? It's located this region. See, in the branchioles that branches, trachea divided into bronchus further divided into small branches, that is branchioles. Small branches, it's a branchiole, it's a lung. Okay. When entering that bronchus into the lungs, it is divided into many branches, minute branches that are called branchioles. So that branchioles, that inner branchiole, listen, I am taking one here, that the inner branchioles which is lined with, that branchioles are lined with the, so that cilia. What is the role? It propels the mucus. So already it is lined with the mucus. It is a protective in function. And that absorbs that dust particles and microbes, any microbes which are goes inside that tube along with the air. So that stick on that mucous membrane. Then this cilia. So by the beating, so by the movement, so it propels, it removes that excess saliva and the substances which are stick on the mucus. அப்படியே ரிமூவ் பண்ணும், பீட் பண்ணி என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, அதை ரிமூவ் பண்ணுவாங்க from the tract. Okay, அந்த டியூப்ல இருந்து ரிமூவ் பண்ணுவாங்க. That propels the mucus by the that propel it's bringing out. நார்மலா அந்த mucus நமக்கு வரும் பாருங்க, அப்படியே வரும், அப்படியே propel ஆயிட்டு என்ன பண்ணும், எக்ஸாக்ட்லி அந்த இந்த ரீஜனுக்கு வரும், throat ரீஜனுக்கு வரும், pharynx ரீஜனுக்கு வரும் நமக்கு அந்த mucus. அது propel பண்ணும். So not allows to go inside the lungs, அதான் propels பண்ணும். அதே மாதிரி வந்து fallopian tube தெரியும். It is the accessory duct of the female reproductive organ. Ovary இருக்கும். Listen, I am drawing one. Ovary இருக்கும். Ovary produces egg. அதை வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இந்த fallopian tube என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, fallopian tube வந்து கண்டக்ட் பண்ணுவாங்க. கண்டக்ட் பண்ணிட்டு இங்கே யூட்ரஸுக்கு வரணும். இங்கே யூட்ரஸ் எடுத்துகிட்டு வரணும். அப்போ இங்கே தட் இஸ் த fallopian tube is lined with, so inner is lined with what? Inner is lined with that cilia. அந்த cilia என்ன பண்ணும், அப்படியே பீட் பண்ணும். ஸோ that bringing the egg அப்படியே என்ன பண்ணும், by the when beating that bringing the egg அப்படியே மூவ் ஆகிட்டு வரும். எக் வந்துட்டு then that reaches the uterus. ரீச் ஆகும். ஓகே, that conduct the that beating, that coordinated beating, all the, so that cilia it beat, that coordinated beating of that cilia that moves the, that conducts the egg from the that is, this is ovary, ovary to the uterus. The transportation movement, that cilia which is located in the bronchioles, that propels the mucus, okay, this is the function. So and there are types over there. The types, the epithelium, that is non-ciliated, also that ciliated type, that is ciliated type பார்த்தோம். இப்போ ciliated and so non-ciliated type இருக்கு. Some are the non-ciliated, columnarly types இது. Ciliated தான் பார்த்தோம். The next is the non-ciliated, no cilia, non-ciliated, no cilia. அவங்க எங்கே இருப்பாங்க, இந்த columnarல subtypes, don't get confused, subtypes of the columnar. Non-ciliated type, it's lined the digestive tract, gall bladder and secretory ducts of glands. Secretory ducts of the gland, ducts of the gland. Then ducts of the gland, salivary gland produces saliva. So that saliva is carried, taken by the duct. One tube carry the duct to the target organ. Take liver, for liver secrete bile juice, there is a bile duct to carry the secretion to the intestine. Appa this is the ducts of glands. Ida duct na tube that carry the secretion to the target organs. Appa ducts of the glands, digestive tract, that is ungalku already, intestine, that is gallbladder. Gallbladder, bile is stored temporarily. Liver secrete bile, so that bile it is stored temporarily in a bladder, that is called gallbladder. So these are all composed of lined with the non-ciliated type. Okay. And the next type, so next type of the simple epithelium is pseudo-stratified. You know, that is strata layer. Strata means layer. Pseudo-stratified epithelium. அது என்ன pseudo-stratified? False. So this comes under the simple, you know already that simple epithelium is made up of single layer, that is single layer, but pseudo-stratified, it's a type of simple. Stratified means layers, but it's not actually, it's many layers. It's basically it is made up of, it's a single layer, but it looks like multi-layered, so that's why this is called pseudo-stratified epithelium. Pseudo-stratified epithelium. Yeah, why it is appears multi-layers? Why it appears multi-layers? Listen, you know that all the epithelial cells which is arranged over the basement membrane, or membrane மேல தான் arrange ஆயிருக்கும், you know. So listen here, that cells which are irregular, that is and not unequal in size and shape, okay, height, but unequal. So that cells are unequal in size, and also that nucleus which are located in the different heights, that nucleus which are located in the different heights. First of all, it is a elongated cells, made up of elongated cells. It's a columnar, but it is a unequal in size, not regular size, unequal. It's many layer, it's looking like many layer, multi-layer, but basically it's single layer because of the unequal, that is the length and the distribution of the nucleus at various heights. It's looking like stratified. So that's why this is called pseudo stratified. So because of this reason, unequal length and the distribution of the nucleus in various levels, it is pseudo stratified. What is the function? It is protection, secretion and absorption. Okay, so the areas where the protective in function, secretory and absorption, so that areas these pseudo stratified epithelium are found. So our next type is, this comes simple, the glandular epithelium. So glandular epithelium, next type of simple epithelium is the glandular type. So glandular epithelium, that is that epithelium which are secretory in nature are called glandular. Gland means that secretes something, sweat gland, salivary gland, sebaceous glands, gastric glands, intestinal gland. So these are the glands that secrete something. Gland means is secretory in nature, Okay, it may be what type? It may be the cuboidal epithelium or maybe columnar. Okay, it may be the cuboidal epithelium or columnar epithelium. If it is secretes something, that is called a columnar subtype. It is a columnar epithelium, that is glandular epithelium. Maybe columnar or the cuboidal, it's nature. Maybe the columnar or cuboidal. If it is secretes, that comes under, it is called glandular epithelium. Okay, it's a two types. That glandular epithelium further divided into two types. What are they? Unicellular and multicellular. Unicellular and multicellular gland. Unicellular gland and multicellular gland. There are two types. Glandular epithelium divided into two types, namely unicellular single cell. It is made up of single cell. Not group of cells. The isolated glandular cells, நம்ம நேத்து பார்த்தோம் goblet cells ன்னு பார்த்தோம். Some of the cells என்ன இருக்கும்? And the cuboidal cells that is converted into goblet cells, mucus secrete பண்ணது பார்த்தோம். அவங்க that is example for the unicellular. Example, goblet cells. Alimentary canal இருப்பாங்க, அவங்க secrete mucus. நேத்து பார்த்தோம் function யாரோ கேட்டிங்களே, what is mucus? So that goblet cells secrete பண்ணுவாங்க. And multicellular, that means a cluster of cells. Multicellular, that is consists of the cluster of cells, many cells aggregate and secrete something. Example is the salivary gland. So that glandular epithelium, based on the number, that is organization divided into unicellular and multicellular, so examples. Types, we are discussing the types of the glandular epithelium. Next, which is further divided into, that glandular divided into exocrine and endocrine glands. It's exocrine, very important. Exocrine and endocrine glands. So what is the difference between the exocrine and endocrine? Based on the pouring of their secretion. The type is based on the pouring of their secretion. How it pours the secretion. Based on that, it is divided into exocrine and endocrine gland. Exocrine and endocrine gland. So what is exocrine gland? Exocrine. Both are glands. So listen, take liver kanna. This is liver. Liver secrete bile juice. That bile juice are carried through a duct, or duct, carry பண்ணிட்டு that is bile duct, carry பண்ணிட்டு வருவாங்க. Gall bladder இருக்கும், that is different. Carry பண்ணிட்டு எங்க பண்ணுவாங்க? The pour the secretion in the where? That duodenum, small intestine, duodenumல பண்ணுவாங்க. அப்ப இந்த liver, that secretion of the liver, namely bile, it is collected through the, transported through the duct and pour into the target organ. This is the target organ. எங்க அவங்க work பண்ணணும்? Okay, that pour the target organ through a duct is called exocrine or ducted. It is also called ducted gland. Ducted. If there is a duct to carry and pour the secretion into the target organ, that are called exocrine. Endocrine, just opposite kanna. There is a gland. There is a gland is there that secretes something, but there is no duct to carry the secretion to the target organ. There is no duct. இப்போ pituitary gland இருக்குது, thyroid gland இருக்குது, pituitary, thyroid, thymus, இவங்கெல்லாம் வந்து என்ன? Endocrine. அவங்க secrete பண்ணுவாங்க, no doubt at all. It secretes something. It secretes the substances, but there is no duct to pour the secretion to the target organ. There is no duct to carry. avangalla, it's called endocrine gland. That is called endocrine gland. அப்புறம் எப்படி சார் அது டிரான்ஸ்போர்ட் பண்ணும்? How it is transported? How it is transported? You are telling no duct. Then how? It is mixed in the blood. So that blood carries the substance to the target organ. That blood carries via blood. So that is transported. No separate special duct. No duct. And one more is that the secretion of the exocrine gland is called enzymes. That the secretion is called enzymes. That secretion of the endocrine gland is called hormones. That are called hormones. That secretion, name of the secretion. It secretes something. The secretion of the exocrine gland is called enzyme. Secretion of the exocrine gland is called enzyme. And secretion of the endocrine, exocrine, enzyme, endocrine, hormone. Endocrine gland, hormones. That secretion is called hormones. Exocrine gland secretion is called enzymes. But digest to enzymes. சொல்றோம் enzyme. Pituitary hormones. Pituitary gland hormones. Growth hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone, follicle stimulating hormones. That secretion are called hormones. Okay, very clear? Super. That is exocrine, endocrine glands, that only discussed. And next is the glands based on the structure of the secretory units. Important. Based on the structure of the secretory units. Glands, basically it is secretion, secrete something. That is simple compound, number of cells based on that. And next is the, already discussed, the next is the based on the secretory units. secretory unit. அப்ப அந்த gland secrete பண்ற அந்த யூனிட்ஸ் எப்படி இருப்பாங்க, அது எப்படி the composition that is based on that tubular, alveolar and tubulo-alveolar. தம்பி important, listen carefully. Based on the secretory unit, no doubt glands வந்து secrete பண்ணும். இப்ப பாருங்க, இது வந்து this is I am drawing the thyroid gland, that is a trachea, one on either side of the trachea இருக்குது thyroid gland. இப்ப thyroid gland secrete பண்ணு thyroxine. அப்ப அந்த secretory unit அந்த அந்த ஹார்மோன் ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ற உள்ள எப்படி யூனிட்ஸ் எப்படி இருப்பாங்க, சோ அதான் that is what alveolar, அதான் சொல்லுவாங்க alveolar. alveolarனா என்ன, இங்க பாருங்க இன்சைடு வந்து என்னது ஸ்மால் வந்து என்ன இந்த மாதிரி இருக்கும் globular structures, இது alveoli. லங்ஸ்க்குள்ள alveoli இருக்குன்னு படிக்கிறீங்களா, ஸ்மால் ஸ்பெரிக்கல் ஸ்ட்ரக்சர்ஸ், அது alveoli. சோ அத மாதிரி இங்க என்ன இருக்காங்க, alveoli இருக்காங்க, இந்த மாதிரி alveoli இருக்காங்க. alveoli தான் ஹார்மோன் செக்ரீட் பண்ணுது, புரியுதுங்களா, இது alveoli. அப்ப alveolar because that secretory unit, what is the shape, based on the shape structure of the secretory unit, it is alveolar. In sometimes that glands tubular in nature, எப்படி இருக்கும், இதான் gland, அதுக்குள்ள என்ன இருக்கும், that is tube இருக்கும், இந்த மாதிரி tube இருக்கும் உள்ள tubular in nature, அதான் tubular, that secretory units. Sometimes என்ன இருக்கும், both இருக்கும், both இருந்தா that is called tubulo-alveolar integrated, both. Sometimes both இருக்கும் secretory units வந்து it is composed of both வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா alveoli and tubular இருக்கும். So இது based on the that type of the secretory unit, the nature of the secretory unit, and this is final is very important. So based on the mode of secretion, very important, based on the mode of secretion, all listen carefully, it is divided into merocrine, holocrine and apocrine. என்ன merocrine, this is important. நம்ம யூனிட்ஸ் பார்த்தோம், உள்ள எப்படி யூனிட்ஸ் இருக்கும், அவங்க செக்ரீட்டிங் யூனிட்ஸ் பார்த்தோம். So listen கண்ணா, listen carefully. merocrine gland, இங்க பாருங்க, இதா merocrine gland. Imagine this is the merocrine gland. merocrine epithelium தானே, ஒரு பேஸ்மென்ட் மெம்பரேன்ல ஃபிக்ஸ் ஆயிருப்பாங்க. so rest over the membrane, the cells, secretory cells secrete பண்றாங்க. அது என்ன சார், நம்ம மோட் என்ன, மோட் methodology by which it secretes the substances. merocrine, if I am drawing merocrine, என்ன பண்ணும், மீரோக்ரைன்னா வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஒண்ணும் கிடையாது, இந்த செல்ஸ் வந்து இந்த செக்ரீட்டரி யூனிட்ஸ் வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா செக்ரீட் சம்திங், அவ்வளவுதான், ஏதோ சப்ஸ்டன்ஸ் செக்ரீட் பண்ணும். என்ன சார் தப்புன்னு சொல்லிட்டீங்க எப்படி, இட் செக்ரீட் சம்திங். இப்போ salivary gland ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், salivary gland இதான் வந்து செல்ஸ், தட் செல்ஸ் ப்ரொடியூசஸ் தி செக்ரீஷன். என்ன இம்பார்ட்டன்ட், ஸோ வித்தவுட் எனி டேமேஜ் டு தி செல், இந்த secretory செல்லுக்கு வந்து என்னது, without any damage, simply that produces the secretion, அதான் merocrine, that is merocrine, without any damage to the secretory units, without any damage, simply that produces the secretion, அதான் merocrine. Come to the next is apocrine, இந்த ஆர்டர் படி வரல. apocrine, listen இங்க பாருங்க, the rest over the basement membrane, basement membrane rest ஆயிருக்கு. cells இவங்கள secrete தான் பண்றாங்க, but when secretion of the substances, that cell is partly disintegrate. இந்த செல்ல என்ன ஆகும், ஹாஃப் வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா இந்த செல்ல என்ன பண்ணும், என்ன ஆகும், தட் இஸ் இந்த செல் வந்து அப்படியே என்ன ஆகும், கொஞ்சம் அந்த பார்ட்லி என்ன ஆகும், அப்படியே டேமேஜ் ஆகும். செல் வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா என்ன ஆகும், அப்படியே டேமேஜ் ஆகும். ஸோ இதான் நார்மல். இங்கே பாருங்கள், இப்போ இது நார்மல் வச்சுக்கோங்க, இது நார்மல் செல், இது நார்மல் அப்போக்ரைன் கிளாண்டு. வென் செக்ரீட்டிங் தி சப்ஸ்டன்ஸ், இங்கே பாருங்கள், லிசன், தென் செக்ரீட்டிங் சப்ஸ்டன்ஸ் என்ன ஆகுது பாருங்கள், இது வந்து டேமேஜ் ஆகுது. இந்த டிப்பு வந்து டேமேஜ்டு அண்ட் ப்ரொடியூசஸ் தி செக்ரீஷன். When it producing the secretion, that tip of the cell, that half of the cell is damaged, it is a disintegrate, destroyed. Half of the cell damaged and it produces the secretion. ஒரு பாதி செல் என்ன ஆயிடுது, இங்க பாருங்க, டேமேஜ் ஆயிடுது. என்ன ஆயிடுது, அப்படியே it is damaged, half of the cell. அப்ப எங்க அப்போக்ரைன் எதுக்கு சொல்ல வரேன்னா, அப்போக்ரைன், அப்போ A for apex, A for apex. அங்க பாருங்க, டிப் என்ன ஆகுது, tip of the that cells, that glandular cells, it's get disintegrate, damaged, ruptured. பாதி செல் உடைஞ்சிருது, டேமேஜ் ஆகுது, damaged and produces secretion. அதான் அப்போக்ரைன் gland. all gland produces secretion, but nature பாருங்க இங்க டேமேஜ் ஆயிடுது. ஓகே, செல் வந்து டேமேஜ் ஆகுது, டிசின்டிகிரேட் ஆகுது. அதான் அப்போக்ரைன். ஹோலோக்ரைன், இதை வந்து ஹோல்னு ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க. ஹோலோ, ஹோல், WHOLE, ஹோல், நாட் HO. ஓகே, ஹோல், ஹோல்னா என்ன, ஃபுல், ஃபுல்னு அர்த்தம். இங்கே பாருங்க, லிசன், இதான் செல்ஸு, இதான் நார்மல் அந்த ஹோலோக்ரைன் செல்ஸு. when producing the secretion, the total cells, the total cell is damaged, total whole cell is damaged and produce the secretion. Secretion produce பண்றப்பாங்க என்னது, that whole cells are damaged. அதான் holocrine gland, holocrine gland. Okay, this is the mode of, based on the mode of secretion. So mode of secretion, that glands were divided into merocrine, apocrine and holocrine. Okay, and holocrine. A for apex, A for apex, tip. Here tip is damaged. Okay, holo, that is whole, entire total cell is damaged, that is separated from the that basement membrane, that separated from the basement membrane, that entire unit is damaged. So that is the holocrine gland. So that's all about the simple epithelium, simple epithelium. So next session we will continue the compound epithelium. Okay, that's all. This is time for you, 10 minutes. Any doubt regarding this? 100%, that simple epithelium, that simple type is completed, simple epithelium.